morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to do a pink monochrome look today. So we're starting off with prepping my skin with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I just give it a quick spray. This stuff is so amazing. I'm priming the skin using the Caliray So Blown Primer. This does not have silicone in it, but it does prime the skin and it fills in your pores. And it does give your skin a nice smooth canvas to begin foundation. So for foundation, I am mixing two different ones. I go in with the first one. This was Makeup Forever HD Hydraglow Foundation. It's pretty light, but once I blend it out, it does kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't match my skin tone, I don't think, but it definitely brings the color of my skin down to the same color that I have on my neck. But then I go in with the Makeup by Mario Surrealskin Luminous Hydrating Foundation in the shade 4C. So this one's a little bit cool and it matches more of my tone a bit. I find, but it also gave me more coverage. So now to kind of fill in the spots where I'm missing a little bit more coverage, I go in with Nars Complete Concealer in Light 2.6 Cafe Con Leche. I love this pot concealer because you can really take enough product. You don't have to have an excess of product like you get on the wands. I like that you can use a brush, you can go in, you can take a little bit less if you want. And because it's a little bit drier than those wand concealers, I don't know, it just seems to work better. I really enjoy this one. All right, so next I'm going to go in with my Laguna bronzer. This is the Nars Laguna 3 Cream Bronzer, and I've really been loving this, even though I find that bronzers are more warm-toned than contours. This one just suits my skin, and I just love it. I've been enjoying using it with the sponge especially, and I feel like it really gives my face the shape and contour that it needs. And then it also adds a little bit of warmth because that foundation was really cool and also really light. So I bring this back in and it just kind of hides the features that you don't want hidden. It does chisel your cheekbones and it can make your nose look smaller. So again, it's all in the application and how you apply it. But I feel like it is amazing. And I do use this on my dampened sponge. It's probably my favorite way to use it right now. And it blends out beautifully. You can also use a brush to go in with this, but I would start light and work your way up. So next we're doing blush. I'm using the Jeffree Star Magic Candy Liquid Blush in the shade Watermelon Latex. And as you can see, I've added way too much. I do tend to add less product at the beginning and I go back in and reassess. I would say if you're a beginner or if you're not sure, I would definitely use less and then build your way up. I always find that my blush tends to fade. So by the end of my makeup look, my eyes are popping and then my blush just kind of goes into the background and I don't feel like I see it. This was way too much. And that was my bad because a lot of the liquid blushes I have that are not Jeffree Star tend to go on very translucent and they're not very opaque at all. Jeffree Star packs a punch, you guys. So just be aware when you buy his products, they have high quality pigment and they're very, very bright. All right, so next I'm going to go in with the shadow. I'm using the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette in Aurora Lights. When I got this was many, many years ago already, and this was one of my favorite palettes from their line. They're baked shadows. They're like those sun-baked shadows, and I just love them. They go on perfectly if you add setting spray or water to your brush, and I love them for monochrome looks. They're just absolutely beautiful. And when I put this on, you can see that there's like harsh lines. There usually is when you add liquid to your brush, but you'll see that I go in and if you blend it once it's dry, it gives you the best like wash of color, especially when you're blending out those certain areas. It's just one of my favorite looks. And I think I repeat this probably twice or 3 times a year. I don't know, I'm missing me some pink. Getting through the holiday season, a lot of like, colors, but no pink. So I'm really happy that I could come back to this and reuse this palette because it's probably one of my first buys as a makeup artist and I just absolutely love it. So you can see there, I did add a little bit of color to the lower lash line just to see, kind of get the picture of what my look is going to look like at the end. Next, I'm going in with brows. I'm using the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I'm using the pencil side here, and this is, I believe it's Cool Cookie is the shade. The other side also has a liquid tip. So I prefer when my brow blade, like my brow pencils, have like a brush on the end, like a spoolie, so you can brush through your brows. This one doesn't, but you can use a separate one if you want to. And if you have really sparse brows, the liquid tip on the other side is waterproof and it is amazing. I don't tend to reach for it often though. I usually go for the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So next we're coming through the brows using the Benefit Brow Setter Gel. This just keeps all the hairs in place, especially if you have unruly brows. This is perfect for that. I just like it. It does help to kind of spread out the product, like the brow pencil. It helps to kind of make it look a little bit more natural. So that's why I tend to use it after I have colored in my eyebrows. And you can see I've made my eyebrows a little bit darker than normal because I don't go in with any liner on the waterline. So my eyes are popping, but in a different way than I'm used to. All right, so next I'm cleaning up this line on my cheek. I actually end up going in with some concealer here because I feel like it just got brought down just a little too much. I will go back in with some contour, some bronzer, and add that in. And what this is going to do is it's going to give my cheekbone a little bit more of a chiseled look, but it also kind of brings the blush up. So remember, if you make a mistake, you can always erase it, go in with some concealer, some foundation. A lot of people will use their makeup sponge with the foundation side to kind of blend and make it look natural again. But you can see that I'm just kind of cleaning up my concealer, making sure I have no weird lines. And I also blend out that cheek area as well. So now we're setting with powder. I'm using the Makeup by Mario Surrealskin Soft Blur Setting Powder in the shade 2 Neutral Light, or Light Neutral. I don't remember the name of that. I'm just setting all the areas of my face because I was getting a lot of shine and I just wanted to make sure that everything was set in place. So I go in with a small brush to start, and then I add my larger brush, and that just kind of blends out everything. I add a setting spray, MAC Fix Plus Stay Over, one of my favorites, and I'm fanning my face dry here because I am in the middle of my makeup. We're not quite at the end. Next is highlighter. I'm using the Mary Lou by the Balm Cosmetics. This is hands down one of my favorite highlighters, and I believe this is still my first palette, but I've definitely hit pan on this one. And it's probably one of my tried and true. I'll probably always go back to this one because it's my absolute favorite highlighter, and the color just matches my skin tone. It's not too gold, it's not too pink. Perfect champagne color for those everyday looks. So next we're going in with lips. I'm going to use the Morphe lip liner pencil in Bite Me, and then I go over that with the Jeffree Star Velour liquid lip color in the shade I'm Nude. When I have a look that I want to kind of detract from the eyes, I always go in with a nude lip. At first I was thinking I could go in with a little bit of a drier lip because I do kind of like the way that looks. And plus your lipstick stays in place if you leave your lipstick dry. These Velour liquid lipsticks do dry down. You can see I'm using the wand to blend the lip color into the lip liner a little bit. And I'm just making sure it looks like, blended. I don't want it to look like this big ring around the lips. But then I decided to add some gloss at the last minute, so you'll see that shortly. And here we're blending out the eyes. So I take my dry brush and I'm just really going to town with the blending, bringing it up towards my eyebrow a little bit because once I put on lashes, sometimes it's hard to see all of the color. I've added extra product here again just to make that color pop a little bit towards the brow. And then I'm also blending underneath the eye. And because this is the monochrome look, I really blend it out. So that's all you can see is shadow, and I blend out the bottom shadow a little bit lower than I normally would in a regular makeup look. And I'm using a clean brush to blend it out even further. And I can't remember if I use powder to blend it out. I think this is pretty much where I stop. But you can see it just gives such a beautiful ethereal wash of color around the areas. And there's no sharp lines, and it's just, I don't know, it's one of my favorite looks ever. I just love it so much. So next I'm going in with the liner Too Faced Better Than Sex Black Liquid Liner. I just do the upper lash line, and then we've added some mascara. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize in black. Added my lip gloss, which is the Jeffree Star I'm Nude the Jeffree Star Sandcastle Bling. And I'm just finishing up my makeup look. One more setting spray, and that's it for today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. If you are new, I would love if you would consider subscribing. And be sure also to click on the bell button to be notified when I post new content. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So we're just finishing off. I'm going to fan my face, and that's it for today's look. So I hope you enjoyed it, you guys. We will talk to you very soon. Bye.